Okay, so have you ever felt like when it comes to like health and well-being, like we're just kind of scratching the surface? Like
Hmm.
maybe ancient cultures were really onto something.
Yeah.
Well, get this. Traditional Chinese medicine, and we're talking about a system of healing that has been around for literally thousands of years, might actually have some answers.
Thousands.
You've been curious about TCM, and we actually have a whole stack of sources here for this deep dive. They're
Yeah.
actually geared toward practitioners, but
So
don't worry, we're going to distill all the good stuff here for you.
good. Um,
Um,
what's so fascinating is that, you know, while these practices are ancient, they're seeing a huge resurgence.
mm.
People are starting to realize that a lot of what we consider like alternative medicine today actually has really deep roots. TCM especially is resonating with people because it views the body as this whole interconnected system. It's not just like separate parts to be treated.
Yeah, it's like that saying, can't see the forest for the trees. And
Exact.
TCM is all about the bigger picture. One of the first things that really grabbed my attention when we were going through these sources is this idea of qi.
Okay.
I'd heard the term before,
Yeah.
but it always seemed kind of, mysterious.
Right, right. Think of it this way. Imagine your body is like a garden hose, right?
Okay.
Key is the water flowing through it.
Okay.
Without water, nothing grows. Key is that vital life force energy. And when it's flowing smoothly, we thrive. But if it gets blocked or stagnant, that's when problems start to come up.
Wow, that makes so much sense. It's a much more concrete way to think about it.
Yeah.
And speaking of flow, we can't talk about TCM without mentioning yin and yang, right?
For sure.
That symbol, the black and white swirl, it's everywhere these days.
Everywhere, exactly. Yin and yang, they represent that duality that we see all around us. So light and dark, hot and cold, even just like the seasons changing.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not opposites that are fighting each other. It's more like a dance,
Yeah.
this constant interplay.
Okay.
TCM is all about finding that sweet spot, that harmony between those opposing but interconnected energies.
Yeah, like in that one source where they were talking about the struggling plant, they were like, instead of just trimming the leaves, TCM is about looking at the soil it's growing in,
Mm.
finding the root cause of the issue, not just masking the symptoms. That really resonated with me.
And that's a key difference in how TCM approaches healing. It's not about just treating those symptoms, but understanding the underlying imbalances and restoring harmony to the entire system. We're looking for the root cause.
So how does TCM actually work in practice?
Yeah.
We've got acupuncture, herbal medicine, qigong, tai chi.
Right.
It's a lot to unpack. I'll admit some of it, like the acupuncture needles, they used to kind of make me a little nervous.
Right.
But after reading these sources, I'm actually kind of intrigued now.
Yeah, it's understandable to be curious about the needles.
Yeah.
But acupuncture is actually a very precise practice.
Okay.
It's not just about like randomly placing needles in someone.
Right.
It involves stimulating very specific points along energy pathways, those meridians that we were just talking about, to help get your qi flowing smoothly again.
So each point on the body has like a specific function. That's wild. What's it actually like? Do people find it relaxing?
You'd be surprised. A lot of people find it really relaxing.
Really?
Think of it like you're giving your body's energy system a tune-up.
Okay.
And yes, each acupoint is thought to correspond with different organs and systems in the body.
Wow.
By stimulating these points, acupuncturists can actually address a wide range of issues.
Yeah.
So we could be talking about pain, inflammation, stress, anxiety, even digestive problems.
Wow. Okay, so we've got the needles working on our energy meridians, but TCM also uses the power of nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about this Chinese herbal medicine.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Imagine like having a pharmacy that's stocked with natural remedies.
Right.
That's kind of what Chinese herbal medicine is like. Each herb has these unique properties and energetic qualities.
Okay.
And what I find really interesting is that they're often combined in these very specific formulas to actually target a person's unique imbalances.
That's a whole different way of thinking about medicine than what I'm used to.
It is?
It's amazing how much knowledge they had about just plants and their effects on the body back then.
Right. And it's not just ancient wisdom anymore either.
Yeah.
What's really remarkable is that modern science is actually starting to validate the effectiveness of a lot of these herbs.
Really?
Yeah. But for example, there's this herb called turmeric,
Okay.
which has been used in TCM and Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. Now, modern research is showing that curcumin, which is a compound in turmeric, actually has really potent anti-inflammatory properties. It's a great example of how this ancient wisdom is actually being backed up by modern science.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's like these two worlds, ancient healing and modern research, are finally starting to like meet.
Exactly. It's like they're shaking hands and saying, hey, we've both got something valuable to offer here.
I love that.
And it's not just turmeric. We're seeing more and more research on the medicinal properties of all sorts of herbs. Some are even being incorporated into like conventional pharmaceuticals now.
That's fascinating. It's like we're rediscovering the power of nature,
Yeah.
but we've got to talk about those moving meditations too.
Yeah.
Qigong and Tai Chi. What's
Yeah.
the deal with those? They always seem so graceful and mysterious.
Yeah, there's definitely a meditative quality to them.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself like moving with intention, like your breath is syncing up with your body, you're calming your mind, you're cultivating your chi.
Okay.
That's Qigong and Tai Chi in a nutshell.
Okay.
They both involve these gentle movements, deep breathing, focused attention,
Yeah.
all of which can do wonders for your overall well-being.
So they're like a workout for your mind and body at the same time.
Exactly.
Cool.
And the best part is you don't need any prior experience to actually give them a try.
Oh, okay.
They're incredibly beneficial for like reducing stress, improving balance, flexibility, and just feeling more connected to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to bring more mindfulness and movement into your life, regardless of your fitness level.
You know, reading through these sources, I've been so struck by how much ancient wisdom is packed into these TCM practices. But I'm also really curious about the science behind it all.
Yeah.
What does modern research have to say about TCM's effectiveness?
Okay.
Is there any evidence to actually back up these ancient practices?
That's a great question, and one that we get a lot, actually. You know, TCM's been practiced for centuries, but modern science, it wants to see the hard evidence.
Right.
Thankfully, there's a growing body of research that's starting to actually validate what practitioners have been observing for generations.
Oh, okay.
Like acupuncture, for example.
Yeah.
It's actually being taken much more seriously now as studies are starting to show some really promising results in areas like pain management, particularly for like chronic pain, things like back pain and migraines.
So the needles actually work. What about for other issues?
There's evidence that suggests that acupuncture can also be effective in reducing nausea and vomiting, which is why it's often used as a complementary therapy for people undergoing chemotherapy. And it doesn't stop there. Even herbal medicine is starting to have its moment under the scientific lens.
Okay.
We're seeing some really interesting research on the use of certain herbs for like reducing inflammation, boosting the immune system, even their potential in fighting cancer cells.
Wow. It's really amazing to see how these ancient practices are being backed up by modern science. So does this mean that Western medicine is finally taking TCM seriously?
I think there's definitely a shift happening. We're seeing more openness, a growing recognition that TCM can actually offer valuable tools and insights into healing. However, it's important to remember that TCM should be seen as a complementary approach, working alongside conventional medicine, not necessarily replacing it. It's about finding what works best for each individual and creating a more holistic approach to health.
Yeah, it's not about picking a side. It's about finding the path to well-being that feels right for you. So much of what we've talked about today has really been resonating with me, but I'm sure some listeners are at home wondering, like, how can I actually apply these ancient practices to my modern life?
Right. It can seem kind of daunting, but honestly, even small changes can make a big difference. One of the most powerful things you can do is just start paying closer attention to your body's signals. TCM is all about listening to those subtle cues and addressing imbalances before they become like bigger issues. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Physically, mentally, emotionally? Am I constantly tired, stressed out, experiencing any digestive issues? These could all actually be signs of key imbalances that just need a little bit of attention.
So we need to slow down and tune in to what our bodies are trying to tell us.
Exactly. There are also some really simple practices that you can incorporate into your daily routine. Start with something as easy as mindful breathing. Even just taking a few minutes a day can do wonders for calming your mind and regulating your energy. And then there's food. TCM actually sees food as medicine.
Okay.
Try incorporating more whole, unprocessed foods into your diet. Just notice how different foods actually make you feel.
It all comes back to that mind-body connection, doesn't it?
It does. And speaking of connections, remember yin and yang. That concept of finding balance is key here.
Right.
Strive for balance in all areas of your life.
Yeah.
Make time for work and rest, activity and stillness, connection and solitude. It's about finding that sweet spot where everything just kind of flows in harmony.
Wow, what a journey this has been. We've covered thousands of years of wisdom in such a short time, from the mysterious flow of qi to the power of plants and the importance of listening to our bodies. If our bodies are like gardens, as one of the sources so beautifully put it, what small steps can we take today to start tending to our own well-being? Just something to ponder as you go about your day. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.